Hi, and welcome live and direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. This is Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. If you haven't done so yet, first of all, thanks for watching. Get down here in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. I'll thank you ahead of time for that. So it is Wednesday, the 20th of August into Thursday, August 21st. School has started around here anyway. A lot of some schools in the outlying areas of Michigan are starting next week. And I guess there are some schools that still start the day after Labor Day. The weather has turned, really looking at the long range forecast as stifling as the heat has been the last, 90 days or so. There can be some days next week. You might hear people complaining that it's too cold. We've got 3 or 4 days or nights with lows in the 40s. That's probably a furnace weather. So if you have your furnace on, you get up in the morning next week, you probably hear the furnace running. That's probably better than having the AC on all day. But yeah, we've got some cold air coming down from Canada next week, and it looks like it's going to be with us for a while. That's fine. That's bring it on. That's all I got to say. So there's your meteorological report for the day, I guess. Good day for the Tigers. Good series for the Tigers. They completed a sweep of the Houston Astros this afternoon behind the right-handed slants of the veteran Uncle Charlie Morton with a 7-2 win. So the 3 games with the Astros, the Tigers relinquished a grand total of 2 runs. They came out a home run today. 2 runs. So is that good pitching or bad hitting? Well, Jim Leyland, former Tiger manager, always said it's not really who you play, but when they're playing them. Tigers caught the Astros at the right time, folks. I'm not taking anything away from what they accomplished in this series. They're 76 and 53 now. 33 games left now, I believe. 9.5 game lead on Kansas City, depending on what Cleveland did this afternoon in Denver. 10.5 game lead on them. Is the train fully back on the track now after having been derailed for a couple of weeks? What they have that stretch where they would have won at 12, and they went from 25 games over 500 to, well, I think it was all the way down to 14. They're back up to 23 now. And really, think about this. Last year, after the trade deadline, they really picked it up, but they were sellers last year. But it's after the trade deadline that they picked it up. This year, after the trade deadline, it was right about that point in there where they were struggling. They had that 1 in 12 stretch in 13 games or something. Then came the deadline day deals that they made. We didn't think they were all that much at the time, and we kind of criticized Chris Harris for not doing a whole lot. Pardon me. But look what he's done. Kyle Finnegan, late inning reliever. He's not the closer because A.J. Hinch doesn't name a closer. He'll mix and match the 8th and 9th innings. I don't think there's any question. Will Vest is much more effective in the 9th inning than he is in the 8th inning. You're asking me why? You're asking the wrong person. You have to ask Will Vest that. Kyle Finnegan, I don't think he cares what he pitches in the 8th or the 9th. Doesn't make a difference. What I'm trying to make is of all of the relief pitchers who were dealt on July 31st, as we speak right now, Kyle Finnegan has the best numbers. Not only has he not given up a run, I think he may have relinquished one hit and one walk since the time he's been here. You know, when they had acquired him, he made 34 appearances for the Nationals this season. In 31 of them, he was unscored upon. It was in the other 3 appearances that he gave up runs, and that brought his ERA up. ERAs can be misleading, especially for a relief pitcher. He's been very good. And what about Charlie Morton? That was a deadline. That was a last-minute 11th hour deadline deal that Scott Harris made, getting him from the Orioles. And he gave up virtually nothing for any of these guys, folks. He didn't. I couldn't tell you who these people were he gave up. But I'll tell you right now, they're virtually nothing. Charlie Morton. What a steadying force, stabilizing influence he's had on this rotation. Now, I don't think Chris Paddack, who they got from the Twins after Reese Olson went down, I think Chris Paddack is going to be on the playoff roster. Right now, your 4 pitchers on the starting pitchers on the playoff roster, I think, will be Tarik Skubal and Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize and Charlie Morton, Uncle Charlie Morton, who was very good again today. But that guy has been almost like you going back to 1987 when the Tigers got Doyle Alexander. And he went 9-0. Even the one game that Morton lost, he was actually very good in that game. I think he had 10 strikeouts. So all is well with the Tigers right now. Now they begin a series on Friday with the Kansas City Royals, and the Royals are in second place right now in the American League Central. 9 games behind, and they've got 2 games left in Kansas City. They're playing Texas right now. They've got 2 games left before they come here. They've got a game tonight, and then they've got a game tomorrow afternoon before flying back here to Detroit. Of course, the Tigers. Pardon me, boy. Voice was fine until I started the podcast today. Of course, the Tigers have these 3 games left on the homestand with the Royals before they go to Sacramento for 3 next week. On the way back, they'll stop off and play 3 more in Kansas City. So they've got 6 games with the Royals the next 2 weekends, and then they'll be done. They'll be all done with Kansas City. Looking at the schedule here, as I said, they've next week Sacramento, Kansas City. And then they're back here on Labor Day to start a 3-game series with the Mets. And then the White Sox are in before they hit the road again and going to the Yankees and the Marlins. Give you a heads up, too, before I forget. Because of the upcoming Labor Day holiday, I will be doing shows on 3 consecutive days next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Just remember that. And then that'll be it. After Wednesday, that'll be it until Labor Day, September the 1st. That's next week only. The Tiger pitchers, we know who will be starting for the Tigers these 3 games against the Royals. The Royals have not posted any starting pitching rotation yet for the series. We do know that Casey Mize is pitching Friday night. Chris Paddack will pitch Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon it'll be Jack Flaherty, which means Tarik Skubal will start the first game out in Sacramento next week. Yeah, next Monday. What day is it? They got to play on Monday in Sacramento already? Let me check that. No. They do have Monday off. Yeah, okay. 3 in Sacramento, but they do not have an off day. They've got 3 night games in Sacramento next week. So they're in the Pacific time zone next Thursday night. And after that game, they have to fly 2 time zones over the Central time zone for a night game in Kansas City 24 hours later. I thought okay. That's everybody has to go through that, but so they're probably going to be dragging one by the time they get to Kansas City next week. But that's why Rob Manfred, the Major League Baseball commissioner, in his what he spoke about on last Sunday Night Baseball. He talked about expansion. They will be adding in baseball. Will be adding 2 new teams. You hear Portland, Oregon, and Nashville. That means that it would be similar to the National Football League, and that they would have 32 teams. He's also talking about a dramatic realignment. It would not be anything like you have right now. You'd have similar to what they have in the NFL. You'd have your American League, American Conference in the NFL, and National League, National Conference in the NFL. You would have four team divisions. In other words, you'd have your American League North, National League North, American League East, National League East, American League South, National League South, American League West, National League West. Each division would have 4 teams. It's being done in an effort to cut down on all the travel, similar to what the Tigers are going to have to go through next Thursday in Sacramento. You're playing a night game out there. You're telling me that after that game is over, you're probably going to get into Kansas City, which is in northwestern Missouri. You're probably going to get in there like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you got to play a game 12 hours later. Now that sucks. Anyway, so hitting hero today for the Tigers, I think the hitting star was probably Dylan Diggler. That guy has really been a gem of consistency all year long. And looks like Gleyber Torres, who was in a little slump, has got things going again. Javier Baez looks like he picked it up again. So, yeah, like I said, there are 23 games over 500 right now. It's, the goal. I think the goal right now should be you want to with Toronto losing today to Pittsburgh. And by the way, they just lost the series. That series was in Pittsburgh, I believe. Yeah, they just lost 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. So the Blue Jays are scuffling right now, as well as the Astros. Seattle's not playing all that well. By the way, before I forget, I wanted to bring you this up, give you Eugenio Suarez update from the Seattle Mariners. There, where are we? Well, as usual, my phone took a dump, so we're not going to get it on. I can tell you he's batting 181 with 3 home runs and an OPS of about 550. Okay, not good. Nothing, not nearly as productive as he was with the Diamondbacks, and they gave up a couple of top prospects to get him. Did the Mariners? Are they regretting that right now? Possible. Maybe they are regretting that. I don't know, but anyway, we was getting at about Kyle Finnegan. He's been the most effective of any relief pitcher who was dealt at the trade deadline. Charlie Morton has been a stabilizing force in the starting rotation. He's been a godsend. And also, as a veteran pitcher, I think he's been a very good influence on the Tigers' younger pitchers. More specifically, people like Troy Melton and Chris Paddock. And now even Rafael Montero, whose numbers weren't good with the Braves, but they've been pretty darn good since he's come up here. These guys who were scuffling a bit get to Detroit, and they get their diploma from Federer University. And next thing you know, they're very effective. So right now, the Tiger bullpen looks great. It really does. The rotation looks good. The bullpen looks good. They're hitting again. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. Let's see if they can keep this going. It's possible. They could have 80 wins. What they've got now, 76. They could have 80 wins by Labor Day, which is September the 1st. That'd be. I picked them to win 88 games this year. Obviously, they're going to exceed that, which is fine with me. No. All right. I think I've got you caught up on baseball for right now. A few things before we get to the sponsors here. Uh, that walk-off win last night was the first Tiger 1-0 walk-off walk in extra innings. First 1-0 walk-off walk in extra innings since 1948. A long time ago. In fact, that was who won the World Series that year? The Cleveland Indians. And they haven't won one since. So, as you saw in the headlines, the Red Wings have patched things up with Sergei Fedorov and vice versa. It's long overdue. They are finally going to raise number 91 up to the Raptors at Little Caesars Arena on January 12th. That'll be a big night for Sergei Fedorov, a big night at Little Caesars Arena. And it's well past time for that. So congratulations to him. This has been long overdue, and that'll be quite a night at Little Caesars. Sergei Fedorov, number 91, we're going to be retired and be hanged from the rafters at Little Caesars Arena. I'm good to see that. Things were not all that copacetic between Mike Ilitch, Chris's father, and Fedorov. But this is good to see. I mean, bury the hatchet, whatever, however you want to say it. But the Lions patched things up with Barry Sanders and Megatron, Calvin Johnson. So, congratulations, Sergei Fedorov. Your number will be retired on the night of January 12th at Little Caesars Arena. Also, in college football, which gets underway next week, the Spartans open up against Western Friday night, the 29th at Spartan Stadium. And then Michigan the next day at the Big House against New Mexico. And Sharon Moore has not named a starting quarterback yet. He will do that on Monday. It's more than likely going to be freshman Bryce Underwood. Ohio State, their starting quarterback will be redshirt freshman Julian Sayin, who was the third-string quarterback last year, transferred to Ohio State from Alabama. So Julian Sayin, Sayin, will be the Buckeye starting quarterback a week from Saturday. Well, what a way to open the college football season on Fox. A week from Saturday, Texas at the Horseshoe playing Ohio State. Well, I'm already pumped, looking forward to that game. One more thing too before I forget. I don't know why. Tomorrow night, Thursday night on Fox, in prime time on Fox, you've got Yankees Red Sox. I don't know why. It's a big series. They start a 4-game series tomorrow night. Yankees and the Red Sox. That's the featured series of this weekend, if you will, in Major League Baseball. Blue Jays, who I said are scuffling, will be it'll be the Yankees and Red Sox fighting it out then for wild card seeding. And yeah, these are 4 big games coming up. Anyway, game 1 will be tomorrow night on Fox. If you don't have anything better to watch, you might want to watch this. Why? Because it's free. You don't have to stream anything. Not much is free anymore, but you can watch it. If you get Fox 47, you can watch that game free tomorrow night. So there you go. I think we got baseball out of the way here. I told you a couple more things. Let's do this for the good folks at Frank Beck Chevrolet. I think you can all see this. If we see that, yeah, we got a good view of it right there. There you go, right there. Leave that up there for a few more seconds. Coming up, the 10th annual First Responders Tribute Golf Scramble at White Oaks Golf Course here in Hillsdale on September 20th. All proceeds go to the Hillsdale Fire Department Station number 3. Registration begins at 8 o'clock. Shotgun start at 9, 240 per team. See or call the Frank Beck Chevrolet to register. You can call them at 517-849-2886, like it says back here. Or you get in there, better yet, get in there and see anybody in there, and they can you can register in there. So don't miss this, folks. It's for a great cause. It's always a good time. The 10th annual First Responders Tribute Golf Scramble, White Oaks Golf Course, September 20th. All proceeds, as we said, they go to the Hillsdale Fire Department Station number 3. It's for such a great cause, and the folks at Frank Beck Chevrolet do such. They're so gracious to this community and helping people out, and you know, it's a heartwarming thing to see what they're doing out there. But I'll keep reminding you of this as the closer we get to it. But one more time, the 10th annual Frank Beck Chevrolet 10th annual First Responders Tribute Golf Scramble, September 20th. White Oaks Golf Course. All proceeds go to the Hillsdale Fire Department Station number 3. Registration begins at 8 o'clock. Shotgun start at 9, 240 per team. You can call Frank Beck Chevrolet, 849-2886, or get in there and they give you all the details. Be a lot of fun. You certainly don't want to miss this. So, as I said, the closer we get, I'll be reminding you of it. Chevrolet together, let's drive. Chevy drives Southern Michigan. Of course, Frank Beck Chevrolet is the #1 selling Chevrolet dealer in our immediate tri-state area. We're also brought to you in part by Frank Beck. By Barrett Insurance, BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. 517-849-1000. In downtown Jonesville on the corner of M99 and US 12. Barrett Insurance, 517-849-1000. On the corner of M99 and US 12, downtown Jonesville. That's BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Oh, and we're also, of course, brought to you by Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. As you know, we wouldn't be doing this podcast without their help. Tim Lindley and his crack staff, Lendley, Tim Lindley and his crack staff, certainly more than capable of resolving any technical issue you may have at all, whatever it is. 37 Waldo Street, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. 517-610-5372, anything. Computers, new or used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming, perhaps you're changing internet providers, you need that installed, printers, new or used, anything at all. Get in there and see them. Of course, with school starting and the fair coming up, Tim and his staff are going to be very busy. And so you want to get in there and see them to any technical issues you have at all. This is the only place to go, right here. Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 37 Walter Street, 517-610-5372. Or better still, get in there and tell me, Mickey sent you, will you? Thank you very much. Well, I've spent so much time talking about baseball. Lions had the day off today before their joint practice tomorrow at the Meyer Performance Center in Allen Park with the Houston Texans. That'd be your only chance to see the first stringers between tomorrow and opening day on September the 7th at Green Bay. Of course, it's a sellout. They have record crowds out there, very large, enthusiastic crowds. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes out of that joint practice with the Texans tomorrow. And then both teams will take Friday off before the final preseason game of the season, Saturday at 1 o'clock at Ford Field. I don't think that'll be much of a game. I see any action you're going to see will be tomorrow. And where has this preseason gone, huh? It'll be over Saturday. And then 2 weeks from Sunday, opening day at Green Bay on September 7th. Can hardly wait. College football getting underway. Pro football about ready to start. And of course, it's the Cowboys and Eagles. 2 weeks from tomorrow night September the 4th on NBC. That's, of course, that kicks off the NFL season. Cowboys and Eagles, 2 weeks from tomorrow night, September the 4th on NBC at 8 o'clock. It's good to have football back. Winter's more like football now, isn't it? No, no. That's going to do it. I think I've told you everything I want to tell you. I might have gone a little bit too long tonight. I apologize for that. I will talk to you all again on Friday. Don't forget, of course, Saturday morning here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM with Andy and Jen on the Time Out Show. We've got a lot to talk about. So, and I will talk to you all again on Friday. So until then, that's going to do it, I think. I will say thank you so much for watching and listening. Sincerely, remember to please treat each other with respect. Y'all have a good rest of your evening. And you don't know how much I appreciate your watching and listening. Well, until Friday, please tell your friends, like and subscribe. So until Friday, have a pleasant evening. And I'll simply say good night and so long, everybody. Thanks.